Hi peeps, I'm Auriel Grace, and today's psychic tip is handy tips on how to work with your psychic kids. So, in the past, I would say like 20 years or so, it has been easier to find information about intuition and being psychic, and there are more books coming out, right? People aren't so rigid as they used to be, and I sure could have used them when I was younger, but now it's easy to get information about psychic kids. And I like working with psychic kids because, well, they're fun and they're honest. So when they actually are seeing clairvoyantly, they'll tell you what they're seeing. Or when they're hearing clairaudiently, they'll tell you what they're hearing. And one of the things that I always tell the parents is, let's try not to scare our psychic kids. Because sometimes when you're young, you don't know what you're seeing. Like, it doesn't register, I guess. Whenever I saw spirits when I was a little girl, I thought they were people. They just looked a little, I don't know, shimmery or different, or and so now I understand the difference between them because they can look really real. They can. And so ask your child questions like, why are you scared? What did you see? What did you hear? Be patient with them, especially if they're young, because they may not know exactly what they saw or heard. And I'll give you an example, because I have lots of examples for lots of things. I have had some crazy experiences, but I had a little boy. His name was Daniel, and I used to watch him, and I just loved Daniel. I loved his mommy too. They were so great, and he was like my first grandson. And he had some spirit attachments. I think there were 3 of them. And he was a bad boy. Like, he was bad. And so we had to get rid of the spirit attachments. And he would tell me about them too. And he would also say, like, oh, my friends are here. And I'd be like, oh, God. Because he would always do something that wasn't for his highest good. So eventually we got rid of them. And he started kind of mellowing out and like we got to meet the real Daniel, right? And then he was sitting on the couch one day, and I was getting ready to take him to preschool, and I was getting ready to take my other son to school, and he looked straight at me, and he goes, Grandma, I'm gonna bring back the bad guys. And he knew who the bad guys were, because we used to tell him, don't listen to the bad guys. We got to let them go, And it took us a while to get rid of them. Ugh. Anyway, I looked at him, and I was like, no, you're not. So, because I had laid out a lot of energy around him so that he couldn't call the bad guys back. Because, he was ornery. He was. But we didn't want him getting in trouble at preschool anymore, and, we didn't want him, getting in trouble at home. We wanted him to listen and be good. So he was very much aware of the bad guys. He was like, I think 4. He had just turned 4. Yeah. So he knew what he was doing. So your children, they may not have the terminology because, you don't use the same words that I do and don't speak the way that I do. But if they're talking about like influences that you don't like, actually question them about it, because they will tell you. They'll let you know. And then you can lay out some heavy magic or heavy energy to like protect them from the bad guys. Because you don't want that type of influence on your child. And psychic kids are really, really, absolutely empathic. And they can feel so much, you know. And so we want to make sure that we're protecting our psychic kids. And we're doing for them, we're making them aware of the many different realms that's around us. So make sure to pay attention to your psychic kids. Make sure that you are working with them and teaching them. One of the first things that I do teach psychic kids is to create a barrier or a shield around them. And I call it the egg. And a lot of kids like this, especially the small ones. I always tell them, visualize, see your egg, whatever color you want it to be. And you can draw it, and it can change colors, and the egg goes all the way around you. And so you want to make sure that your child does that so that they're protected from anything that might attach to them, or from anything that they're feeling, especially in school, because there's lots of feelings in school, and you don't want your empathic child to be overwhelmed. So teach them how to protect themselves. Okay? And if you don't know, you can always check out my book, I'm Psychic, Not Telepathic. I wrote that book for families, for psychic kids, for people that are just learning about using their intuitive abilities. So check it out. There's lots of fun homework, including the egg. So that'll be really fun for you, and y'all could do it together. All right. So that's my psychic tip for today. Have a great day, and remember, keep your heart open and align with the energy of love. And I'll see you next time. Bye.